welcome to the Deep Dive. You're aiming to quickly get a handle on the key crypto moves from April 13th to the 20th, 2025, right? Using this summary of top news items.
That's the plan. We'll dig into these sources you've gathered and try to figure out what really mattered and, why it's significant for you.
Okay, great. Let's jump right in. First up in your summary, XRP saw a pretty big jump, about 20%, from $1.75 to $2.15.
Yeah, that's right. And the notes you have point to two main things: the reported pause on tariffs by Trump and also Ripple buying Hidden Road.
Okay, so how do those connect? Seems like different worlds, tariffs, and acquisitions. What's the takeaway?
Well, it's interesting. The tariff thing might just signal like a general risk-on feeling in the wider market, which can lift assets like XRP.
Ah, okay, a macro factor.
Exactly. But the Hidden Road acquisition, that's much more specific to Ripple. It's just they're serious about expanding, maybe into institutional trading infrastructure.
So it's a mix. Broad market sentiment and a specific company move pushing the price.
Precisely. That's what your source seems to be getting at. It's not always just one thing.
Got it. Okay, let's shift to Bitcoin. Your summary notes it held pretty steady, like between $82,000 and $85,000.
Yeah, it did, which is kind of interesting given all the market jitters and those Fed warnings about stagflation.
Right. So why didn't Bitcoin flinch much? What's your read on that based on the source?
It raises questions. Maybe Bitcoin is being seen as, I don't know, a more mature asset now, less jumpy about short-term news.
Possible. Or maybe.
Or, it could just be that the market had already priced in some level of uncertainty. Either way, for you, it shows Bitcoin having a moment of relative calm.
Relative calm amidst the storm, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, Solana. Big news there. According to your summary, DEX volume hit $15 billion.
Yeah, and crucially, that actually surpassed Ethereum's DEX volume for the period. Plus, the price hit $129.
Wow, surpassing Ethereum on DEX volume? What's the significance there?
It's a major signal, really. It suggests Solana's speed, maybe its lower fees, are really attracting serious trading activity, like really serious.
So it's becoming a genuine contender in that DeFi space.
Yeah.
Challenging the big players.
That's what this suggests, absolutely. The competition is definitely heating up. It shows you can't just rest on your laurels in this space.
Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now for something completely different. Fartcoin, a 364% increase. Your summary puts it right up there with Solana as a top performer.
Yeah. It's a meme token, right?
Right.
And these kinds of tokens, as your source points out, their value isn't really tied to fundamentals. It's often driven by social media hype, community excitement, that kind of thing.
So pure speculation, basically.
Pretty much. It shows there's potential for, massive gains very quickly, but also highlights the huge risks involved. Very volatile.
Understood. Buyer beware. Okay, lastly, your summary mentions the SEC approving options on spot Ether ETFs. Sounds important.
Oh, it is. It's quite significant, actually.
Why is that? What does it mean for Ethereum?
Well, it basically gives more sophisticated investors, like institutions, more tools to trade and hedge Ether. Options are crucial for that kind of player.
So it makes Ether more appealing to the big money, more mainstream.
Exactly. It's another step towards wider adoption and potentially greater market liquidity and maybe even stability for Ethereum down the line. Increases regulatory clarity too, which helps.
Okay, makes sense. So let's quickly recap the key takeaways from your sources for the listener. We had XRP jumping on kind of a mix of factors.
Right. Macro sentiment and specific Ripple news. Then Bitcoin showed surprising resilience, staying stable.
Solana stepped up big time in the DEX world, overtaking Ethereum's volume.
Yep. And then you had the wild ride of Fartcoin, driven purely by speculative interest.
And finally, Ethereum got a boost for institutional appeal with those approved ETF options.
That covers the main points from your summary. Quite a mix of developments in just 1 week.
It really is.
Yeah.
So thinking about all this, maybe a final thought for people listening. How do you see these different threads, the established coins, the meme stuff, the institutional moves, how might they all interact and shape what crypto looks like, say, next year or the year after?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How does the serious infrastructure build-out coexist with the sort of Wild West speculation? It's something definitely worth keeping an eye on.